What would you do with no internet? If you were stuck on old technology with no connectivity, you couldn't live your life, certainly not in Britain. So what do we do if it disappears? Or rather, when it disappears? Yes, chaps like me have been speculating for a long while that what happens overseas tends to then happen here, especially when it's been designed that way by someone who wants it to happen here. So I look across to France and I see riots, I look across to Germany and I see possible riots there that we're not being told about, and various other places, and I think, when's it going to come here? And why would it come here? So most people think it's going to be immigration that tips the scales, that makes people riot, but I don't think so. It's going to be a denial of service for the internet. Think about it. Everything we use that we need, stuff that aren't luxuries, now we're being pushed to use apps or websites or other online services. For instance, I can't get a dentist or a doctor appointment now unless I use an online service. I can't pick up my medication. In fact, I get it sent here using an online service. Even contacting the police. They're very busy. You can't ring them, but you can get them immediately on Twitter if you're a Twitter user. Now, I'm not a Twitter user, so that excludes me. So it got me thinking, right, if I was the CCP or some other powerful, technologically advanced enemy of this country and of the West and of democracy, I might look at what's happening from over in China, at what's happening here and in France and in Germany, and I might want to think that if I took the opportunity now and I did my cyber attack that people speculated on a decade ago, in fact, when they didn't have the capability, if they did that now when they do have the capability and we are defenseless to it, we're not ready for it, what would the effect be? It would be riots. And I think that's exactly what we're going to do. So, well, I'm not, but that's what we're going to see for people like me. We're going to see widespread rioting out in the streets. Certainly in the worst affected areas are going to be London, Manchester, Liverpool, Glasgow, these kind of places. You know, big populous cities that require lots and lots of data, lots of internet, much more than you or I out here in the sticks would. So there's two reasons I'm making this video. The first is to let you know I think there's going to be big riots, not like the little Tottenham riots where a few shops get set fire to. These are going to be like big riots like we're seeing in France at the moment. They're going to be uncontrolled and the police are going to be trotted out eventually, and they're going to be underprepared, and they're going to be too soft, and they're going to get walked over. So law and order is going to break down. So the first thing I want you to do is be aware of that. The second thing is I want to appeal to you for calm. If you can at all avoid it, don't get drawn into anything like this. Don't get baited or provoked or spited or take revenge on someone who's done something to you in the past. There's no excuse for it. When there's people outside writing, lock your doors, shut your windows, shut your curtains, and just don't have anything to do with it. You know, these are the people out there saying that we're going to be on the wrong side of history because we don't have the right opinions, we don't think the way that they like, we don't think the right thing. But I think they're going to be on the wrong side of history. People in the future are going to look back and they're going to say people who were riotous protesters were like stupid, they were like the worst people, that they basically didn't even realise they were the cohorts of our enemies. So that's why I'm making this video. Don't become an enemy of this country inadvertently, thinking that you're doing the right thing. Mostly young people, so not many of my audience are going to be like that, but many of you have got children or friends or people that live near you care about. So please try and discourage anyone you know from protesting about anything at the moment, really. Not that I don't think protesting is good in certain situations, but I mean, just at the moment it's a bad idea. So yeah, coming up to 4 minutes, that's the end of this video. Be aware, riots are upcoming. It's not going to be because of immigration like you probably might think, but immigration is certainly going to make it 100 times worse than it needs to be, and many of the people who participate, I'll see you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, just take warning. Don't get involved in it. Don't be baited into it. Like, you know, people are stupid. A lot of people are too stupid to know that they're being depressed and deprived of services on purpose, because that's the conditions that you give someone of low IQ if you want them to go on the riot. If you want them to lose their temper sufficiently to go flooding the streets with weapons, smashing things and stealing and acting like thugs, that's what you need to do. You deprive them of opportunity. You deprive them of you know, services to the police and hospitals and things like that, and you make them feel like their only hope, that's the thing that does it, hope. Their only hope is to get out into the streets in large numbers and create mayhem. That's what they're going to do. So don't be dragged in, don't be fooled. It's the worst thing you could do. It has the opposite effect that you want. The more victories that these protesters get, the more they're going to tighten up the law for you and for me. Not for them, for us. Protesters are civilians. Notice no government people are protesters. No high police commission chiefs are protesters. No rich businessmen are protesters. They're the ones paying for the protesters, but they're not out there risking their own backsides. No, they're only risking money, and they think they're going to get a return on it. So as soon as they realise there's no return there, they'll stop. And where does that leave the protesters and the rioters? Exactly. Don't be one of those idiots. Don't be one of those people. So behave, keep well, and see you in the next one. Bye. Lady Gents and Pikachus. Nearly forgot that bit, didn't I? See you next time.